students?
Earthworm.
Confirm me whether the slide is visible or not. Is it visible? Is it visible? Slide is visible?
Yes, sir.
And slides are changing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so Annelida. Annelida, they're defined as triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical, and most important characteristic is they are metamerically segmented. Okay, so each segment is called metamers. Each segment is called metamers. And first time we'll have a coelom. So Annelida is coelomate. Okay, the first coelom is found in Phylum Annelida. Okay, note down that point. And the coelomate worm is with a thin flexible cuticle around its body, right? Around its body. Okay, and the body structure is tube within a tube-like. Tube within a tube-like. So mainly Annelida, they are aquatic animals, but some marine and freshwater forms are also found, right? They burrowing in nature. They could be sedentary or free living, and sometimes some are commensal or some are parasitic. Okay, if you see the body, they are elongated in nature. Of course, they are, as we have discussed, is triploblastic, an elongated worm. Okay, and they are vermiform body, right? Okay, so this is the figure, and it has 15,000 species. Okay, one of the largest phylum. So it includes earthworm, sandworms, bristleworms. Okay, so leeches, you are familiar with the leeches, right? Now, the body is metaphorically segmented. You have seen externally by the transverse groups and internally by septa. So, septa, what is septa, students? What is septa? What is septa? So, in you all travel in train, right? So there is two separate camera, and if you consider each camera is a metamere, then the doors, they are septa. Okay, each metamere, they have the septa, different septa. Understood or not? Then so each division is called metamere or somite. And the body organization is organ grade first time, right? Organ, we'll find organ first time, not we have found in skeletal analysis as well, but proper organ grade of body organization is found in Annelida. Okay, the cuticle structure or septa. So here segments are separated by the tissue, which is called septa. It allows more efficient hydrostatic skeleton. Okay, and the epidermis is of single layer by columnar epithelial cell, which is covered by cuticle. Okay, so epithelial is a single layer. Our epidermis is not single layer, right? So their epidermis is single layered and consists of columnar epithelial cell, and it is made up of or covered by the cuticle. Okay. So it offers a way to achieve greater size rather than the increase of what is the uh, they have hydrostatic skeleton, and they offers a way, the hydrostatic skeleton offers a way to achieve greater size vermiform body, right? So each organ is repeated in each segment. So there is a concept, each organ is repeated in each metamere or somite. Okay. And the segmentation, sometimes this type of question could be asked. The segmentation is both external and internal segmentation, right? What is our segmentation, external or internal? Or if you consider the arthropoda, try to figure it out. Okay. As well as the locomotor structure, they are also segmentally repeated in this bristler sometimes called seta, okay, which is embedded in the skin. And the body wall is contractile or dermomuscular, containing of outer muscle fiber, circular and inner longitudinal. Okay, several system, that's why the organ level, organ system level, nervous excretory, so serial repetition will find the nervous system well organized here. Okay. And excretory system is also well developed. Segmentation is produced during the embryonic blend. Okay. So look at the body form. It is basically worm-like body. Okay. Some which visual form. Head is Peristomium. First segment is called Peristomium. Most annelids show some degree of sepulation. Sepulation, formation of head, right? Or with formation of head. So it is also a question. The first sepulation occurred in, right? So this is also a question, and it is your homework. First sepulation occurred in which phylum? So mainly there are several sensory structures, and tentacles are also found in them. Okay. Now next, peristomium behind the peristomium contains mouth and the pharynx with chitinous jaws. In pharynx region, we'll find chitinous jaws. So basically what happens in case of leeches, they will have suckers, right, for the sucking of the blood. The blood vascular, the digestion is entirely here. The alimentary canal is straight tube. And the alimentary canal is straight tube, and as well as different locomotory structures has been found in different class. We'll see later during the classification. Okay. So parapodia, one is parapodia. Okay. And we have seen the fleshy, that is fleshy appendages are called parapodia. Setae is one kind of locomotory organ. Parapodia, which is a fleshy appendages, this is one kind of appendages, right? Terminal pygidium with the anus. So pygidium also found in Annelida. Okay. So we have discussed the epidermis is a single layer structure. Epidermis separates a thin flexible which is called cuticle. Setae small chitinous bristle. Okay, most annelids have setae repeated on each segment. Okay. This is the function of setae. This is the function of setae. So we have discussed as well this portion. Beneath the epidermis there is two layers of muscle tissue. One is circular muscle, another is longitudinal muscle. Okay. body cavity we have discussed, that is true coelom. So true coelom, there is two type of coelom, that is enterocoelom and cytocoelom, right students? Enterocoelom and cytocoelom. So in case of Annelida, that is cytocoelom, okay, and it is divided into compartments by transverse septa, okay, and most well developed in leeches, and this is well developed in leeches, okay. So body cavity of true coelom lined with peritoneum. Peritoneum membrane, you have heard what is peritoneum membrane. It is lined by the squamous epithelium. So epidermis is lined by columnar. Here we will find the squamous epithelium. So there are several types of cells, they are found in epithelium, okay. Peritoneum also form mesenteries that holds blood vessel and the septum between the segments. So one compartment is connected with the next compartment, okay. It is separated completely structurally, but of course the one segment is connected with the next segment. In different segment you will find different things. Coelom is fluid filled, okay, and then the coelom is released by a duct called common coelomoduct, okay, and the fluid structure serves as hydrostatic skeleton, okay. So annelids have three general types of movement. One is burrowing. Burrowing nature you have all have seen if you ever visit in the field during the rainy season, okay. So you will have found this structure, the burrowing nature of the annelids. That's why it is called farmer's friend, okay. You all have studied in your grade 3 or 4th, right? So waves of peristaltic contractions we go down the body, and first animal illuminates contraction of the circular muscle, and second when animal shortens, the contraction of longitudinal muscles happen, okay. The crawling movement as well. Crawling, you know that what is crawl. Little baby can crawl. So Polychaeta use parapodia alternatively to move. So this is a different class, okay. So we are in phylum Annelida, and it has three different classes as well. Swimming, mainly polychaetas and leeches, their undulating body movements, they perform swimming, okay. So tube within a tube, body tube, and they have a straight tube like alimentary canal, which is complete structure, complete digestive system, and the alimentary canal is extending from the mouth to anus, okay. Various structures are there: pharynx with teeth, esophagus, crop, gizzard, intestine, okay. And digestion is entirely extracellular. Crop, you all know that, helps to food storage, and gizzard is thick and muscular, helps physically break up food. So there is a practical where you have to find the TS of gizzard in earthworm, okay. Have you performed it? There are pharynx, TS of pharynx, TS of gizzard, TS of crop, different structure, and intestine. In some the part of the intestine is used for digestion. So there secretes digestive enzymes. Most of the intestine is used for absorption, and the dorsal surface of infolding called triploblastic. So infolding means increases the surface area, and it will help in the absorption, okay. So here is the important cell called Chlora Gogos cells, okay, lining. So it lines the intestine. So scientists, they proved that this cell is equivalent to our liver. It synthesizes the glycogen and fatty fats. So note down this important function of Chlora Gogos cell. They also travel through the coelom to repair wounds and function is as excretion as well. They convert amino acid to urea and ammonia, okay. Now the respiration. Respiration occurs through the moist skin or gills of the parapodia and head. Okay, so those who are marine, they will have gills, right? So generally, it is through the body wall or moist skin. Okay, some through the parapodia, and for marines, and it is through the gills. Okay. Circulation system, actually the blood vascular system is a closed type. Okay, blood vascular system is closed type. So generally evolution wise, what will happen? First the simplest organism, then through the various evolutionary effect, it will form to the complex animal, right? So closed circulatory system is found in Annelida, as well as in higher vertebrates like us. We also have the closed circulation system, but in arthropoda, which is more complex than the annelids, they are having open circulatory system, right? But how? What is the reason behind it? Just try to find out. And the blood is red in color. The blood is red because due to the presence of hemoglobin, right, or erythromycin. It is dissolved in the plasma, right? So if you ever dissect an annelid, then you will find the blood. Okay, so these are the some important points of annelidan circulatory system. Closed circulatory system, dorsal and ventral vessel connected by the capillary network. Dorsal vessel pumps blood anteriorly and ventral vessel pumps blood posteriorly. Okay, and dorsal vessel is the main pump. Several pairs of aortic arches are there. Remember, it will form the heart, right? They help to keep the pressure up in the ventral vessel. There's a double transport system for food, gases, and waste fluid filled coelom. Okay? Remember this point as well. What is the important function of coelomic fluid? So it helps in respiratory, excretory system. Okay? So you will find the hemoglobin, erythrin, or chlorocurine. Okay, most of these are dissolved as a plasma form. Only 4 blood pigments are known, and annelids have 3 of them. Till now, only 4 blood pigments are known, and these 3 are found in annelids. Okay. And the blood also contains amoeboid cells which engulf foreign particles. So we are having macrophages, right? So they are having amoeboid cells, amoeboid structure, which helps in engulfing of foreign particles, right? Now, nervous system. The nervous system, it consists of pair of cerebral ganglia. Cerebral ganglia is found in annelida, right? Brain and double ventral nerve cord having segmentally arranged ganglia and the lateral nerves in each segment. Okay, leeches have another pair of ganglia at the posterior end pair ventral nerve cords. So mainly brain has 2 pairs of ganglia, cerebral ganglia. ठीक? But leeches, they possess another ganglia which is situated at the end pair ventral nerve cords. Okay, and the connectives they are also found in annelida. Connectives also found in the annelida. Okay, some receptor organs include the tactile organs, taste buds, statocyst, photoreceptor cells. Okay, they are found. So What is the function of statocyst? What is the
बैलेंसिंग बोल तो
yes? So पहले हमें कहाँ मिला था statocyst? कौन सा फाइलम में statocyst मिला था?
नमस्कार।
हाँ बोलो, कहाँ मिला था? अरे बोलो, कहाँ मिला था पहले? पढ़ते नहीं हो तो कैसे आंसर दे पाओ? तीनों फोरम में मिला था कि नहीं? अरे याद भी नहीं रहता क्या? तीनों फोरम में मिला था कि नहीं स्टैटोसिस्ट?
यस सर।
सो बोल क्यों नहीं पा रहा हो? Okay, so these are the receptor organs. Endocrine system, they are very primitive in nature. Some neurosecretory cells are found in ganglia. Okay, and the hormones regulate in the reproduction as well as in regeneration. This is very important. Excretory system in Annelida. The excretion is by the metamerically disposed coil tubules. Okay, it's called the Nephridia. Main excretory organ is Nephridia, and which actually communicate the coelom to the exterior. So one pair of Nephridia in each segment, it is quite similar with the mollusk. Okay, and some polychaetes, they are having protonephritic. Okay, this is the structure of a particular nephritic tubule. Nephrostomes, funnel-like structure. Okay, the coil-ciliated tubule surrounded by the capillaries, bladder-like structure. In case of human, you all have we are having same structure, right? And nephridophore opening to the outside. So, what is the function of excretory system? You all know that, but what is the important point is that so they are ammonotelic or ureotelic or uricotelic. This type of question could be asked. So of course they are ammonotelic and sometimes they also are urotelic. Okay? Depending of the how many whether water present sufficiently or not. Okay, so sometimes they are called ammonotelic and sometimes they are called urotelic. If water is present, then urotelic. Okay, no water scarcity, but when water is not present sufficiently, the excretory material could be ammonotelic, which is more toxic than the urea, right? Okay. So now reproduction. They are monoecious, right? What is you know that what is monoecious? What is monoecious? Huh? मोनोसियस मतलब क्या है?
both male and female present.
Yes,
Hermaphrodite.
but some are dioecious. Okay, so monoecious मतलब hermaphrodite. Okay, and dioecious मतलब unisexual form. Okay, and the development is mainly direct, but in some cases, but direct in case of monoecious form, but indirect in case of dioecious form. And when indirect, then it is known as trochophore. Okay, then it is known as trochophore. Okay, so larva when present, it is a trochophore. It is in case of indirect development. Okay, So sexual reproduction is occurs, as well as asexual reproduction occurs in some. Okay, now the classification system. Generally,
Sir,
three classes are there: Polychaeta, Oligochaeta, and Hirudinary. So poly means many, chaeta means bristles or hair. Oligo means few, right? Bristles. So Polychaeta, they are mainly marine. The distinct head with the eyes, tentacles. Okay, these are present. Segments with parapodia and lots of city with no clitellum. But in case of Oligochaeta, they are mainly terrestrial and freshwater. A head is absent. There are different other classes, but we'll ignore the Branchioptelia, but Hirudinea, which are basically known as leeches. They don't have parapodia or city. They possess suckers. Okay. Class Polychaeta, which is known as the sandworm. Okay. They actually Polychaeta, they are actually chiefly marine, some freshwater and some carnivorous. They are carnivorous in nature. Okay. And you can see the body segmentation is prominent. It is internal as well as external. Okay. The Setae is numerous, basal structure numerous on lateral parapodia. Okay, there is no clitellum. There is no clitellum. Okay. You can read the characteristic. Okay. The alimentary canal provided with the irreversible buccal region, as well as protrusible pharynx. Okay, distinct head with mouth and sense organs. Worm-like body with repeating segments, tap-like parapodia. Okay, the head structure, which is protostomium. You can see the structure of protostomium. Okay, the different type of receptor are present. Okay. The body trunk. These are the each metamere or somites. These are the Setae. Okay, Setae and parapodia. Okay. So feeding and digestion, they are having three types, three guards, that is foreguard, midguard and hindguard. Same as the general characteristic we have discussed. Their free swimming polychaetes are mostly predators. Remember this point. Okay. Sexes, the sexes, they separate. Okay. The fertilization, of course, external. Fertilization is quite external. So if you see the alimentary canal actually provided with the irreversible buccal region and protrusible pharynx region. Okay. Respiration through the parapodia, and some have the paired gills. Okay. These are the respiratory pigment found in Polychaeta. It has two different subclass. One is Arentia and Setarantia. We need to study that. Polychaeta, the example of Polychaeta is Neris. Okay, you may have heard about Neris, Sabella. Okay, these are the example of Polychaeta. Dorsal ganglia, it is present. Okay, just remember these points. Simple isopods to complex organs are present. Nutritional organs. What is the function of the nutritional organs? Related sensory beats are called nutritional organs. Okay. This is the important. What is atokies? Okay, so there is a transformation from hydronids to nerids. Okay, so some polychaetes live most of the year as asexually immature individuals, which are called atokies. Okay, and after living 1 or 2 years as venting organism, they become sexually mature and solid with gametes, which is called epitokies. So hydronids and nerids are example of atoki and epitokes. Okay. So this is the important part. Some example. Neris, you can see the structure of neris. It is also called clamworm or sandworm. These are the neris. Prominent segmentation. You can see. These are the sedentary polychaetes. Sabella. These are the sabella structure. These are the fan worm. Okay. This is scale worm. How beautiful it is, right? The body is covered with the scales. Giant tea worm. Okay. Now, earthworm. You all are familiar with the earthworm. It is also called oligochaeta. Oligo means few, and chaeta means hair. Okay, chaeta, seta, whatever. Over 3,000 species. Okay. They have burrowing nature. We all have seen the burrowing nature of earthworm. In some forms, they live in the fresh water. Okay. No parapodia, but few cities are there. Most with 4 pair of setae and segment. No distinguished head. So they are mostly terrestrial and some freshwater forms. Body with conspicuous external and internal segmentation. Head indistinct without sensory organ. Seta few embedded in the skin. Parapodia is absent, and there is actually clitelium formation of clitelium could be seen for the cocoon formation. Okay. So body well protective layer of collagenous cuticle secreted by the epidermis. It is well visible. Okay. Numerous mucous glands are also there. You all have studied this portion, diplosol and Gogos cells. What is the function of Gogos cells? All these things. Respiration. No respiratory organs or parapodia like polychaetes. Breathe through the skin. No lungs or gills. Okay. Main excretory organs there. Nephridia. Actually, the pharynx is not and reversible and without jaws. Okay, and they are actually hermaphrodite in nature. Matlab, no separate sexes are there, and cocoon formation are important part of their life cycle. And the development is also direct. This part, each worm secretes a sheath of mucus around the clitelium. Okay. Hermaphrodite cross-fertilize each other. Copulation involves double exchange of sperm cells. Clitelium holds pair together with the genital force aligned. Okay. So these are the important points. Cocoon is diffusion in the soil. In 2 to 3 weeks, there is a new worm emerges. Aquatic earthworm, the smaller, benthic. These are the characteristic. And if they are aquatic, means they will have some gills. Okay. This is the tubifex. Example of tubifex. It also has two orders, Archaeoligopita and Neo. Okay. Ferretima is Neo, giant Laos earthworm. It's like snake, right? You could see. It's quite similar with the Julus. Have you seen the Julus? As well as megacolex are also there. So they have some ecological impact and economic impacts as well, because they have the burrowing nature. So it will help to soil. Okay, during the rainy season. Food for humans. In some parts of Asia, South Africa, Latin America, people regularly eat worms. Of course, China is there, and a few restaurants in the China, US offer them as novel food fare. And it is quietly actually happened in India also. Fishing bait. Worms are commonly used for freshwater fishing. I have seen so many people they use worms. Okay, and there is a well, you know that, by which they actually catch fishes. Okay, so at the tip of the well, actually there is one or more than one earthworm is there. Okay, so fish is trying to eat this worm, and the mouth is stuck with the wheel. Okay, tip of the wheel. So then the fish will come out of the water. So now the last class, that is Hirudinea. Hirudo मतलब leech, and actually hirudin is found in Hirudinea. Okay, and the nomenclature behind the Hirudinea, because hirudin is which is an anticoagulant, is found in Hirudinea. Okay, so basically they are ectoparasite. They are blood sucking or carnivorous. As in pure marine, ectoparasite on fishes. The body is elongated and usually flattened or dorsoventrally cylindrical. Okay, and the segmentation external without any internal septa. No internal septa is there. They possess anterior and posterior suckers. Fixed number of root segments are there. Usually 32 plus Peristomium and Pygidiums are there. Both the anterior and posterior ends of the body with the ventral situated as suckers. Okay, remember this point. The mouth opens on the ventral surface on the anterior suckers, while the anus opens dorsal to the posterior suckers. Okay, and coelom here much reduced due to filling by the botryoidal tissues. Okay, and form hemocoelomic sinuses. So botryoidal tissues are found in Hirudinea. Okay, so here you can see. So no parapodia is there, no Setae is there. They have poor hydrostatic skeleton. Okay, the swimming movement is seen in case of Hirudinea. So remember, parapodia and Setae both are absent in case of Hirudinea. Okay, and the body consists of fixed number of segments, that is 33. Body consists of fixed number of segments, that is 33. Okay, so mouth opens on the ventral surface on the anterior suckers. Okay, well, anus, you can see anus opens in the dorsal posterior suckers. Okay, and most of the predators of snails, worms, and insect larvae. Okay, you can see they attaches to the host with suckers. Okay, blood mixes with hirudin, which is an anticoagulant agent. Okay, to prevent the clotting. The digestion process is very slow, and actually it depends on the bacterialization. Okay, so in various type of worms or some in invertebrates, you will find different parasites. Okay, and if you dissect a particular uh, worm, you will find many parasites. Actually, when I was dissecting a Drosophila larva, I also suddenly found Drosophila larva. Remember Drosophila larva. So I found a parasite. I don't know what is the name of this parasite, but there are many parasites in this kind of worms. Okay. And if there is some parasite, then parasite, there could be parasitism, commensalism, amensalism type of function, but there are some microorganisms present inside each and every form. Okay. Respiration, most exchanges gases through the skin, and few aquatic form have gills. Circulation, many species have no blood vessels. Coelomate fluid does the work of blood in open hemocyte. Okay. So it is quite similar with the other annelids. Leeches have two brains. Remember, leeches have two brains. One composed of paracerebral ganglia around the pharynx, as in annelids, जो सब में पाया जाता है, and other is posterior of the animal consists of 7 pairs of fused ganglia. Okay, seven pairs of fused ganglia. 10 to 17 pairs of Nephridia are there, which is distinguishing characteristic of Phylum Annelida. And reproduction, they have hermaphrodite in nature. And so there is one male and one female gonopore. Okay, and fertilization, of course, internal. Okay, and eggs are laid in the cocoons. Development is always directed without a presuming larval stages. Okay, and it has many medicinal uses. In past centuries, it is very important. Past centuries, medicinal hair leech hirudo was used to suck out bad blood. Believed many bodily disorder were the result of bad blood or too much blood. So actually, the treatment was for the high blood pressure. Okay, it will suck some blood. This kind of concept was there. Today, leeches are used in the medicine to spend healing of raised fingers and limbs. Okay, बायोलॉजी लैब्स सो होता है कुछ लैब में मॉडल ऑर्गेनिज्म के तौर पे. Okay, so this is all about Phylum Annelida. Now students, if you have any question, you can ask me.